Hello, everyone. You haven't heard from us for a while, but we are back after a dismal start to 2017 movie-wise. We thought we'd ramble off about the Oscars. Now, I know what you're saying. It's a bit old for me talking about the Oscars, but to that we say it's never too old to talk about the Oscars.
That's right, Kyle. When I was watching the Oscars and I saw that La La Land won Best Picture, I immediately turned off my television and really took a moment to bask in the wonder that is that these people got together and months and months rehearsing for this musical film, and now that they've been given the title of Best Picture, there is nothing that can ever take that away from them.
Kyle, I think you need to check that there.
Oh, fuck Warren Beatty. I think there was a mix-up at the end in which Warren Beatty and they trucked out Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, and
we're like, hey, you read this.
Yeah, they were the least qualified people to handle like an on-stage, like live television mess up.
Yep.
Kind of thing. You feel a little bit bad for Warren Beatty. He had a real indignant moment there, and he's like, I mean, Faye Dunaway is just kind of a walking potato, but Warren Beatty, like he produced and directed a movie that came out this year that I'm sure he was probably a little bit sore. Didn't get any Oscar recognition because it kind of came out during like Oscar season. Yeah. I did not see the film. I think it was about The Aviator.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he plays the Aviator.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. You know who's really to blame, though, is social media, because I haven't heard anything to the contrary, but apparently the guy who messed it up and handed him the wrong card.
Yes, he was social mediating on his cell phone instead of handing out the right card for Best Picture for the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
Yeah, good job. I hope he got a bunch of likes.
Yeah, all the likes. Yeah, he probably got a promotion or something.
He probably got he was sent to their social media.
Because this isn't like a horrible thing, right? Because now, like the Oscars have been dipping in ratings for a very long time. And now everyone's going to watch next year to see if they fuck it up again.
Yeah. What if this was planned? What if this was all a false flag operation by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts?
Oh, shut up, you crazy fuck! Anyway, the first one. Should we start talking about the awards first, or should we talk about Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Kimmel.
Or whoever he was.
Yeah.
Whoever he was. I think we'll just get Jimmy Kimmel out first.
I thought Jimmy Kimmel was alright.
I thought it was alright. The whole ceremony was alright, honestly.
Yeah.
There was definitely a no one get up there and make speeches.
Yeah, that was just kind of the it's like, I put Jimmy Kimmel on there, do some bits with Matt Damon. How bad could it be?
How bad could it be?
How bad could it possibly be? I thought it was pretty funny for sure.
I agree.
But it's funnier than some.
Yeah.
Some
no, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
But Alec, what did you think of Mahershala Ali winning Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight?
I think that was like one of the least surprising because he's really good in Moonlight. He's kind of like a very pivotal,
very, very father figure.
Yeah, I heard. There wasn't a lot of like real people thinking that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
One of the definite themes of this last year's Academy Awards was most of the movies like kind of got lukewarm reception.
Yeah. It was kind of even from the get go was kind of a not as exciting Oscars this year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's good movies. La La Land, I make fun of it, but Moonlight was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It's just
I'm not gonna. I can't say I enjoyed it. It made me very confident in my sexuality, and yeah, I mean, it was good.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
definitely
good. Got good performances.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those you and I would definitely have like a very different opinion, because it's a movie that speaks a lot to filmmakers for both the things it does really well and then the problems it has.
Definitely, I gotta say that I really liked the cinematography and the lighting.
Yeah.
But I thought the writing was really weird.
Yeah.
Still won Best Adapted Screenplay, though. But
I think that was the subject area, just
Yeah.
being like a very powerful story, even though it's not like structurally well put together.
It's just because it's just because I like The Lobster, and I
The
wanted
Lobster.
that to win the best screenplay.
It's like, what do you think about some of the nominees for some of these categories, like costume, that were a lot of movies that wouldn't normally be in that category, and it seems like there just wasn't any like real competition this year in that category.
Do you want? So you're basically asking me what I think of Suicide Squad winning an Oscar.
Yeah, and that kind of thing. Because like makeup had three.
Shit, I guess that Suicide Squad was the that was like the makeup was like the only thing that went like really right for that movie.
Yeah,
For sure. I mean, I guess a lot of people complain about like, they call it like the hot topic movie and stuff like that. But, Jared Leto, definitely, I guess he still looked like Jared Leto in the way we think of him as a society, but, he didn't necessarily look like Jared Leto. And then, Boomerang, like Jai Courtney didn't look like Jai Courtney at all.
He was honestly the best looking. Like,
I thought I was really impressed by it. I do remember when the first look photo. For Suicide Squad, I was like, "Is that Jai? That's Jai Courtney."
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Like, we talked about that like on an earlier podcast episode all the way back in the day.
I don't know what podcast you are referring to.
It is.
I never.
It is the unnameable podcast called Who Knows Ultra.
What's an ultra?
What is an ultra?
What is an ultra?
What is an ultra that drives good men cruel?
Oh man. Alec, what do you think about Batman v Superman not being nominated for Best Picture?
I think it's a crime. We all know deep in our hearts when Batman, that scene...
So, on a related note, Hacksaw Ridge. Why was Mel Gibson robbed of his directing glory?
Because Hacksaw Ridge is
by that young little fuck, Damien Chazelle.
That dastardly person, Damien Chazelle.
You just look at his smug little face, and
because
you think your movie was very endearing.
No, Hacksaw Ridge wasn't good. That's the answer to that question.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that, but it's surprising how much everyone secretly loves Mel, even though everyone still wants after 10 years since the Melgate. Can we call it Melgate?
The
It's
Meltdown.
a controversy. The Meltdown. That's great. That is really, really good. It's been 10 years since the Meltdown, and everybody secretly likes him still. I'm not going to comment on Mel's personal life, but I think that Hacksaw Ridge was kind of a huge pile of horseshit.
Yeah. See, this is a thing that I'm really having trouble with Hacksaw Ridge. People Like, lots of people have been super hype about this movie, but none of them ever, like, I've never heard anyone that liked this movie ever, like, stop and think about, like, the whole problem of this movie. Because you got this character who, like, is willing to just literally ruin, like, everything. You know, like, excluding the war scene. When
Like, you mean he's willing to ruin the American military?
Mm-hmm.
Like...
And his marriage and, you know, everything else.
Yeah.
And it's all like, oh, I can't pick up a gun in training. It's like, that's silly. That's a very silly thing. And I looked up this guy. And that's not like a thing. He was just like a really good medic who didn't want to kill people.
Do you think Mel Gibson looked up this guy?
I'm sure he did. And then I mean, this is kind of a thing. I remember seeing like a little behind the scenes snippet for Braveheart. And the producer on it was saying, he said something along the lines of, you know, look, we weren't going out to make a historical movie. We wanted to just make a very entertaining movie. And I think that's what this
that's always a good thing, you know, when you decide, you know, fuck history. I want to make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the American spirit, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but it's just one of those things. I think that's kind of
I think Hacksaw Ridge might be is
an example of that.
Is it an Australian movie?
Yeah.
It's probably not an Australian movie, but like made by Australians.
I want to say it was filmed in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so many times when you look around in the background, and I just noticed, like, I'm like, unless, you know...
Like that looks distinctly like a kangaroo jumping in the background.
Almost.
Of, like,
I mean, I saw trees that I'm pretty sure don't grow in the Pacific Islands. That's my thing. Was like, I was seeing...
It's like Andrew Garfield won't shoot anybody. He'll just throw kangaroos at them. And,
I'm going to get you with my rose, mate.
And so,
which, you know, Andrew Garfield, it's like Andrew Garfield does a great job at being a frustrating piece of shit in that movie, and it's like, oh my god.
So, Alec, what did you think about Best Foreign Language Film?
Oh, don't you even start on that. I think...
What did you... Are you saying you didn't see any of the foreign language
Kyle,
films?
I'm saying I did not see the foreign language films because I am a cis white male and my white privilege prevents me from seeing that.
I was thinking that, you know, maybe you'd want to make America look a little bit better.
Nope, it's just my white privilege got in the way. I tripped on it on the way out the door that day.
No one appreciates your sarcasm.
Lots of people do.
I'm just saying. Not a person. So, speaking of white privilege, I did not go out and see Hidden Figures.
Oh, you fuck! I saw Hidden Figures.
Well,
you know, you see, you know what? Who's really the monster here?
I'm really not a fan of progress in the 1970s. 60s, I guess, the Apollo mission.
Yeah,
I'm given.
Where they're gonna send them to the moon.
Well, did they go to the moon? Because like they didn't go to the moon in like the first Apollo mission, right? It wasn't like a bunch of the Apollos like just getting into the atmosphere and into orbit and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. Like it was getting them up to space and back down.
Oh, okay, so they didn't go to the moon in the film. In the film, they didn't go to the moon. I guess.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could totally be misremembering that because that movie was just like. That movie is so boring, and like it's you know, to quote Bill Burr, it's a fucking get out of the pool movie. You know, and it's silly.
I believe the film has a great score on Rotten Tomatoes, and
oh well, good for them. No, it's. You know, it's just one of those things.
At some point, you're going to have to learn, Alec, that we gotta fall in line and
with the other critics,
and so
and
that,
just Hacksaw Ridge and Hidden Figures, Best Pictures, they win it together.
and La La Land.
No, La La Land
really,
doesn't-
I guess
Kyle, La La Land-
I can't really say any. I mean, Hacksaw Ridge is a little bit ridiculous that movie would get. That's
Kyle.
Hacksaw Ridge also got the reviews kind of confused me, but whatever. I would say a bunch of these. It's not like a bunch of these didn't deserve to be on this best picture list. Like Arrival was, pretty good, pretty decent.
La La Land was dishonest filmmaking.
Yeah, Well, it's the dancing honky movie. Fences was really good.
Fences is
sure.
really powerful, and that's kind of the
Yeah.
one that I feel like definitely should have got more people should have seen it than what did. Also, see, and this is kind of a thing.
I'm sure they didn't expect the world for sure out of it. I think it did decent for movies around this Oscar season, and it was kind of a part of that that last Oscar push of the last and then Hollywood just kind of barfs out the rest of the movies that they think might do well in Oscars, or
where they're just throwing darts at the board
before it's January
and the limits.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those things where when is the Academy finally going to stop rewarding movies like Hidden Figures for saying the same fucking message as every other movie? I'm sorry, I get it. Segregation, all that shit really sucked. But you know what? There's so many great movies about that topic. There's great movies about slavery. There's great movies about segregation and overcoming it. And Hidden Figures is not one of them. And my thing is Fences is a better movie about the plight of the African American than fucking Hidden Figures. Moonlight is a better movie about the plight of the African American person than Hidden Figures. So can we stop rewarding these lazy get out of the pool movies where the dude from Big Bang Theory plays a cartoonish racist?
Well, you being a racist aside, I in regards to the Academy, I won't blame them too much for putting it on there, because Oscar movies are all determined by the Oscar season, and it's kind of like a sports season, I guess, in that there's only a handful of movies that are that have the Oscar marketing push and stuff and all the bullshit that you need, because the Oscars, the movies that get nominated in the Oscars are not the only good movies of the whole year. But,
that is.
But still, all it's gonna get nominated on the Oscars is stuff that does the Oscars marketing kind of stuff, and there just wasn't very much good stuff this year. So the voters didn't really know.
Yeah.
It's what else are they gonna vote for? I'm sure Jackie got lots of votes, and everyone likes Manchester by the Sea. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. A little behind the scenes for all the listeners. Whenever you fuck up your list on your tablet, the whole I ruined the podcast.
Especially because we've had about 3-4 shots now,
yeah.
So it's just oh no, the tablet's done.
Fuck this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I just hit back.
It works.
And
so Kyle,
crisis averted by.
So Kyle, let's
brilliance
talk
of technology.
Let's talk about original song. La La Land had 2 nominations for original song, And you know what?
Didn't they win?
They did. City of Stars won, but Audition should have.
Well, let's not argue semantics, I suppose.
Yeah, they still won. They still fucking won.
I think it was just one performance too with John Legend.
Yeah, he just played both songs.
Not very good.
No, because he's not.
I'm trying to scroll to the thing, but I remember there was at least one good one. The best that I liked.
Was it?
Oh, it was Sting.
Yeah, the empty chair.
Yeah, oddly enough, like the one I was like, oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm a giant animation nerd, so I was kind of Moana. I was on that boat a little.
Yes.
Because I'm a man child.
Yeah.
I watch Disney movies in my man child basement.
Yeah. With stuffed animals. So, Alec, what did you think of Best Production Design?
Best Production Design.
Which went to La La Land. It was nice to see Hail Caesar nominated for something, which is a movie that
no one saw, but everyone should.
It was pretty much panned by just like critics and everybody.
Which I don't understand. I think I would argue it's one of those ones where I think a lot of people took the movie more seriously than they should have.
Is that a thing now where I guess like Coen Brothers movies, it's like they're like big important filmmakers, so we're trying to take them like super seriously.
Yeah, I would argue
they're still just kind of making comedy movies.
I would argue it's a Big Lebowski thing where it's like people are used to like the really they want to see like the really great Coen Brothers and they judge movies like that, but then it's like no. They'll make movies like The Big Lebowski and Fargo that are just supposed to be really funny. And Hail Caesar's one of them.
Yeah.
And that's, it's one of the things where I think Hail Caesar got really snubbed because it's a fun movie. I don't think Fantastic Beasts should have been nominated. I've thought a lot about this. Because
are you not a fan of the Wizarding World?
Well, here's
satanic. It's satanic connections.
All the satanics. So my problem with it is two things. Number one, when they're not doing wizard stuff, the world looks like every generic mobster movie you've ever seen. I mean, to the point where it's all that gray tone,
Fedoras.
Yeah, fedora. I mean, I was going to say with the costume, all the Aurors, like the magic police, are all wearing trench coats and fedoras. It looks downright silly. But when you see the wizarding stuff, it's like, if you can't make your new wizarding world at least as interesting to look at as fucking Hogwarts, which is a set that they build largely by hand, like all the wizarding, like the wizarding towns and stuff when they would go to Hogsmeade and stuff. A lot of that was built by hand, where it's like the curving buildings and shit. And it's like, if you can't make your wizarding world like as interesting as that, then I've got I don't care. I don't think you should be nominated, because those Harry Potter movies didn't get a lot of nominations for that stuff. And back, what was like the first, like 10 years ago, when they were hitting their high stride, they were creating really interesting stuff. And it's like, they're again, much like Hidden Figures, I feel like they're just rewarding a movie because, the studio that made it had a lot of money to throw at it for something. Because Fantastic Beast is kind of a boring, forgettable movie.
So, Alec, what did you think of Best Documentary Short Subject?
I didn't see it. Once again, I'm just a terrible person. So, I didn't see any of the categories.
You did not see the Wonderful World of...
OJ Made in America. Or no, that's feature.
That's feature documentary.
Oh, it was the White Helmets.
That was
one.
on ESPN, wasn't it? Or
I believe
like
so.
that?
I think it was one of those 30 for 30s.
Yeah.
No, the White Helmets one.
I did read that they released the OJ Made in America, and that's like a 6-hour premiere of like movie, so you can go to a 6-hour movie and they qualify to be in the Oscars.
I hope they gave them
sure.
two.
They won too, so
I hope they give them 2 intermissions.
As it works out, yeah. I guess it would probably have intermissions. I suppose.
I would hope so. Like, I mean,
you can like take a shit and like get your poppycorn and get your trough get your trough refilled.
My popcorn.
At
the people at the film premiere in Los Angeles for OJ are totally eating popcorn.
Yeah.
There probably was just a bar there. It's like, so you're drunk by hour 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. You go, OJ. You stab that woman.
It's like OJ really was made in America.
Truly, 'twas beauty who made OJ in America.
Jesus Christ. Alex racism seems to have no end tonight, folks. I apologize on behalf of...
Look, Kyle, I'm just trying to make Hollywood great again. Just one podcast at a time.
We'll do that someday.
So, let me ask you this, Kyle. What do you think of visual effects? Particularly...
I think they are shitty. Or bullshit.
Well... I remember when we were watching, you were rooting for Kubo. So tell me a little bit about that.
I liked Kubo's visual effects because they were using things like crumpled up paper and things like that to provide visual effects instead of 4,000 Vietnamese children
to work on a computer.
To make the Incredible Hulk's
sweat,
twitch muscles, or something. Yeah.
No, I would definitely agree with you.
I guess that was kind of why I thought that it would be cool if they won.
Because Leica's not won anything for anything, which is bullshit.
Well, I don't really give a shit about that stuff. I just thought that the crumpled up paper thing was pretty cool.
Yeah. And also they built all those like monsters and stuff like to scale with the characters. So it's like practical stop motion effects instead of, oh great, another computer generated thing won. Hooray. Thank God, another computer generated thing won. Instead of the original ambitious project.
Well, that's the I guess that's just the folly of like filmmaking for sure, is that
computer generated things win.
Well, it.
I mean,
you never know. You never really know when anyone wants creativity. So
I mean, shit. Once ILM finishes, once ILM perfects that whole plastering dead actors' faces on people, the best actor category will never, no one new will ever win again.
Well, I can't wait to get more Marlon Brando movies. So. We'll, I'll sit back and not complain, I suppose. For sure.
So who are they gonna paste Brando's face over?
I wish it was Blade Runner, honestly. Like
Marlon Brando.
Yeah, just paste Marlon Brando's face over fucking Harrison Ford's, and I think you've got the,
We just go, but just late Marlon Brando when he's also old and pissed. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
about. Yeah, it's you're old, pissed, and gaining weight, so
why not?
Why don't you be like the Brando stand-in? And Harrison Ford's so high he doesn't care. So
he's got planes to fly.
All right, so now we've officially jumped the shark. We're just gonna have to end this, but
real quick, let's talk about Best Picture about Moonlight. Let's talk about Moonlight versus La La Land, because I know that's something people want to hear about. Because I think you and I...
Do they want to hear about it?
I think they do. We'll wrap it up with this last bit. So, Kyle, do you think Moonlight deserved to win Best Picture?
Well, I suppose what deserves to win Best Picture. So what are the qualifications to winning Best Picture? Not a lot of people think about this, but the Best Picture award is actually for the producers. So, I guess if you ask the question what deserves to win Best Picture this year, and you look at what probably was involved in the producers. For La La Land, it was not an independent film. Moonlight was an independent film. It started out as an independent film. And so La La Land is but still a low budget film. It was a surprisingly cheap movie. La La Land. So they're doing a revival of musicals and musicals from the golden age of Hollywood, and so they and so that was really involved of so La La Land's a movie where they probably spent 6 or 7 months planning the damn thing.
Yeah.
And then 1 month filming it. And so it's that kind of thing. And that's kind of what the producers were dealing with. And then, obviously La La Land, they didn't quite get there. It wasn't quite like a golden age Hollywood musical, but they did what they could in their post-production and stuff. So now go over to Moonlight. So so producers for La La Land were dealing with that. So we go over to Moonlight. Moonlight's an independent film. So Moonlight was more about independent films. As a producer, you're really having to go out there and sell stuff to lots of people. Not sell stuff, but sell your idea and the vision of the film.
Yeah.
Out to people that will fund it, and get people to work on it for cheaper than maybe they would had not be. Definitely a tough call. A tough call. Now, I guess to wrap up all that stupid bullshit that I just said, who do I think should have won it? I was thinking that La La Land should win it. Because I thought it was a little more ambitious than Moonlight. Although I will say Moonlight winning the award is not by any means undeserved.
Yeah.
I suppose, because it was a very well executed film. And all the technical aspects of it were really great, and all the performances were really great. So
yeah, definitely.
That's that.
I would say for people, what people should really do, since both these movies are coming out on DVD here pretty soon, I believe. To anyone listening, go watch both of them, because both movies are very high quality. They've got a lot to say. They're both, honestly, Moonlight is a very serious movie, but it's also a very, interesting movie just to look at.
Go fuck yourself, Alec. Everybody go see Marvel movies.
Yeah,
Let's all go see Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, so that we can hear him.
Yay, Disney!
Disney, take our souls!
We don't need to watch any of that Oscar bait shit.
They're
just trying to pander.
We've got Emma Watson not singing.
She's not naked and she's not singing, everybody.
Thank God she left. She quit on La La Land to do Beauty and the Beast.
Because who wants to be any of that Oscar bait bullshit
When
that
you can
no
get
one likes?
When you can get a Disney dump truck full of money parked right up to your door.
Oh man, the Disney dump truck. The hallmark of American ways.
Oh my god, the Disney dump truck is like... It's like Deal with the Devil.
Yeah, it's like the Trojan horse. For sure. Just ask Chris Pratt. Anyway, I think that's good. Since we've already started yelling into the microphone, we can go ahead and end this.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Watch some Browncast Ultra if you get the chance. If not, that's alright. Fuck you. You know.
We will be putting out some more stuff for anybody who's been wondering. We've been, working on our own stuff, so we haven't put out a lot of Browncast Ultra stuff.
Yeah.
It's the ups and downs of being a filmmaker. But you'll get to see a couple new podcasts this month, so that'll be fun. It'll be fun just for you.
Much fun.
Alrighty.
We will continue to movie. I hope you continue to movie, listener.
I hope you indeed continue.
Go to a fucking movie theater so that they don't shut down.
Yep. Because when they shut down, then we're all at the whims of Netflix.
Yeah.
You don't want to be at the whims of Netflix.
It's basically Mad Max. So, go see a movie this week. And
I'm just imagining a Morton Joe with the Netflix logo, and it's like, those subscribers are my property.
Yeah, you'll watch Iron Fist whether you like it or not.